Listen up, my dear friends. This one's important. You're buying groceries. The total rings up. You pull out your debit card, same one you've used for years. You tap it. The screen flashes declined. The cashier pauses. People behind you are waiting. You feel your heart race just a little, so you try again. Now, what if I told you that declined message might not have been real? Let me tell you about Shirley. She's 76, widowed, living on Social Security. She used her card at a gas station. Got a decline. Tried again. 2 days later, $600 was gone from her checking account. It wasn't a glitch. It was a trick. Some scammers now fake declined payments to get you to swipe again. Why? Because that moment of distraction, that tiny rush of stress, is the perfect time to skim your card and drain your funds. And the worst part? It's not just about the money. It's that quiet shame, that inner voice that whispers, "Did I do something wrong?" You didn't. You were targeted. In this video, I'll guide you gently, step by step, through how the scam works, what signs to watch for, and how to protect yourself without fear. I've worked with seniors for years. I know how easily trust can be turned against you, but you can take your power back. You deserve to feel confident every time you check out. If this has ever happened to you, or almost did, leave a comment below. Your story might help someone else pause before they swipe. Before we continue, if this video brought you any value today, I'd love for you to join me in doing one small good thing each day by supporting through Super Thanks. Every contribution helps provide warm blankets, a hot meal, or simply a moment of kindness for someone living outside without a place to call home. Now let's get started. Now let's begin with how the trick actually works, behind the scenes. Section 1. How the scam actually works. Let me take you back to that moment. The screen flashes declined, but this time, it's not a tech glitch. It's the bait. That first decline? It's staged, so you'll try again while the scammer silently captures your information. Some thieves use tiny overlay devices placed over the card reader. Others tamper with the system remotely. Or worse, an inside clerk simply presses cancel, then shrugs and says, "Try again." It looks like nothing, but it's already too late. That's what happened to Mr. Allen. He's 80, lives alone, and tapped his card at a neighborhood gas station. The machine said declined. The clerk told him to swipe again. He did. The next morning, $960, his rent money, was gone. It was never a system error. It was a setup. Here's what I want you to remember. If a transaction fails unexpectedly, stop. Take a breath. Ask questions. Check the machine. You don't have to rush. Tampering with payment terminals is a crime, but catching it starts with you feeling empowered right there at the counter. You're not wasting time. You're protecting yourself. You can do this too. A pause now can prevent days or months of stress later. And now that you know how the trick works, let's talk about why you, yes you, are being targeted. Section 2. Why seniors are the perfect targets. This isn't random. Scammers are calculated. They choose their victims carefully, and they often pick people just like you. Why? Because many older adults were raised to be polite, to not cause a scene, to trust that if someone behind a counter says try again, it's fine. No harm done. But there can be harm. Grace is 73. She was at the pharmacy. The payment didn't go through. The clerk smiled and said it happens all the time. Grace didn't ask questions because she didn't want to seem difficult. 2 days later, $420 disappeared from her account. Her quiet courtesy wasn't the problem. The problem was the criminal who took advantage of it. Here's the truth. Scammers bet on your grace, but your dignity doesn't mean silence. Debit cards are especially risky. Unlike credit cards, they connect directly to your checking account. If a scam happens, that money is gone. You're not disputing a charge. You're chasing down your rent or medicine money. Later on, we'll talk about how credit cards can offer more protection. But for now, let this land softly. It's okay to say, "Let me check something first." It's okay to pause, to ask, to walk away. Because your calm matters more than a stranger's approval. Coming up next, we'll look at real red flags you can watch for at the counter. Some are subtle, but once you know, You'll never unsee them. Section 3. Red flags at the register. You're at the checkout. The terminal looks fine. The clerk is friendly. But something feels off. That little pause in your gut? It matters. Here are quiet warning signs you can watch for. The clerk rushes you. Try again, without checking anything. The machine feels loose or bulky. Maybe the card slot wiggles. Maybe the keypad seems extra thick. That could be a skimmer overlay. Sometimes the message delay is strange. Too long before it says declined. Or small charges show up later. $1 here, $2 there. That's not nothing. That's testing. Ruth, 79, noticed the card reader wobble. But she didn't want to make a fuss. Days later, $680 vanished. It wasn't just her card. It was her trust. Here's the legal truth. If the device looks off, even slightly, you have every right to stop, ask, and refuse. You're not overreacting. You're protecting what's yours. And please, don't dismiss your instincts. You've lived through enough to know when something's wrong. That wisdom? It's your best defense. So what if it already happened? What if you walked away but still feel uneasy? Let's talk about what to do next. Section 4. If you think you've been scammed, you paid, you left, but your chest feels tight. Something wasn't right. That feeling? It's worth listening to, because acting quickly can stop the damage before it spreads. First, ask for a decline receipt. If the clerk hesitates or refuses, that's a red flag. Next, don't swipe again. Use a credit card or simply walk away. Then, check your bank app right away. You might see a small test charge, $1, $2, $5. If you do, freeze your card immediately. Most banks let you do this in the app. Call your bank using the number on the back of your card. Tell them what happened, calmly, clearly. The sooner you report, the more protected you are. And don't forget, report the incident to the FTC or your local elder fraud hotline. That report could stop it from happening to someone else. Linda, 81, noticed a $1 charge the same night she used her card. She froze it. That move saved her over $2,200. She trusted her gut. She took one small action. And legally, the law is on your side, but only if you move fast. If you delay, protections fade. If you act, they hold. So take a deep breath. One small check, one phone call. You can do this. Now, let's talk about how to stay one step ahead every time you reach for your wallet. Section 5. Smart habits that shield you. Protection isn't paranoia, it's wisdom. You've handled a household, a lifetime of budgeting, and cared for others. This is just one more way to care for yourself. Let's talk about quiet habits that quietly guard your money. First, use tap to pay when you can. It's harder to skim than swiping or inserting your card. Second, set up text alerts for every purchase. It might feel like a lot at first, but one ping could stop a thief in their tracks. Third, keep limited funds in your checking account. Move the rest to savings just out of reach. Fourth, carry a credit card for larger purchases. If fraud happens, the money never leaves your bank. Fifth, lock your card in your bank app when you're not using it. Most banks offer this now, but few talk about it. Elaine, 69, turned on purchase alerts after watching a video like this. 1 week later, she got a $1 charge alert while waiting in line at a different store. She froze her card before they could take more. The truth? Your bank's fraud tools weren't built with seniors in mind. These habits? They're your first line of defense. And remember, just one small habit can protect months of savings. You don't have to do everything today. Just one step. Now, there's one more thing your bank likely won't tell you, but you need to hear it. Section 6. What banks don't want you to know. They'll tell you they protect you, but they won't tell you how long it takes. Here's the truth. When credit card fraud happens, the charge can usually be reversed in days. But with a debit card, that's your money, already gone, and it can take 30, 60, even 90 days for the bank to return it. Doris, 75, had $500 taken from her checking account after a false declined message at a local market. She reported it immediately. Still, she had to wait 2 full months to get that money back. And during that time, no grocery budget, no wiggle room, just stress. Under federal law, Regulation E, you do have protection against debit fraud. But the clock starts the moment you notice. The faster you report it, the better chance you have to recover. Here's something your bank won't say out loud. Debit is instant risk. Credit gives you time and backup. Debit takes from your balance. Credit gives you a window to act. You don't have to stop using debit, but you do deserve to choose how and when you use it, with your eyes wide open. One small shift can protect your peace. And to close this out, I want to leave you with one final reminder, one that truly matters. Today, we exposed a dangerous new scam, the declined payment trick. You've learned why it targets older adults, how it's engineered to catch you off guard, and what steps can shut it down before it takes your peace or your money. And you didn't grow up in a world of fake terminals and overlay devices. You were taught to be polite, to trust the store, to move quickly in line. But it's okay to slow down now, to pause, to ask, to walk away, because your instincts are wise, your experience matters, and every small decision you make to protect yourself also protects the next person, your neighbor, your friend, your family. If this video helped, share it with someone you care about. Let them know they're not alone. And in the comments below, tell us, have you ever had a moment where something at checkout just felt off? Your story could help someone else. I'm not just a lawyer. I'm someone who believes your dignity and your dollars are worth protecting every single time.